Welcome back, everybody. Again, it is Thursday, June the 13th, 2024. A beautiful late spring day. As you can see, as we get a little closer here, our package is from the fine folks at Adprama. I want to make two comments before we start digging into this. First of all, notice the custom UPS let's cave in the box. Shouldn't be an issue because this is a double box guitar, I'm sure. The second comment I want to make is, and this is less of a complaint and more of a comment, but as you fellow guitar players know, both UPS and FedEx always give you an estimated delivery time, which is a joke when you consider the modern world of artificial intelligence. You would think that they would have a better handle on when things are going to be delivered, and they do a terrible job. My estimated delivery time on this guitar was between 2:30 and 6:30 this afternoon, and of course the guitar showed up at 11:30 this morning. Now early is always better than late, but I just sort of live by a simple mantra of say what you're going to do and do what you're going to say. So the first thing I want to point out, this is the fourth Gretsch guitar that I have purchased from Adprama. And being the suspicious guy that I am, in the past, it used to be that all these guitars, I want to do a close-up of this because they might ask me to see this. Previous purchases of Gretsch guitars have always had stapled boxes. And this being the fourth one that I've gotten, this box is taped. So that always makes me suspicious. And you can see that the staples have been popped already. I didn't pop them. So that always makes me suspicious about what I'm actually getting. Am I getting an open box? Am I getting a return? What is it? I'm going to take a moment here. I'll be right back and take a couple photographs. Okay. So, while I'm pulling this out, I'll go ahead and tell you what it is. This is a Gretsch, a G2655. This is their smaller version. Of their semi-hollow body guitar. What makes this one a little more unique is this is the 2655 P90. This is a discontinued model. I contacted both Gretsch and a couple of the retail outlets, and they both verified that this is a discontinued model. And I sort of like discontinued models, just because that means in the true sense it was a limited edition, which always makes me laugh because limited edition is one of the most overly used terms to sort of imply get it now while you can, because it won't be there. And oftentimes these so-called limited edition models are available for years and years and years. And this one first came out in, I think, 2021. And I'm going to guess that this is a 2023 model. There's only a few places that are still offering these. One of them is Pro Audio Star. And yeah, so I'm guessing this is the last of the bunch. Just a note that the covering was torn there. Again, I don't know if any of this has anything to do with anything. Like I said, I'm just a suspicious guy. It's just the nature of my beast. And this is, oh, it's a dark one, all right. This is Brownstone. See what the serial number says. Yep, says it's a 23. I have no idea the date. They always have wacky dates on these things. It doesn't have the other inspection card, which is unusual because usually there's two with Gretsch. Anyways, it looks pretty. It's very dark. I'm not sure why they do these various iterations. Wow, they really do bury those pickups. Bit of schmutz on it, but writings feel good. Action looks a little, action looks okay. I don't know why they bury that P90. But they do. So, gaze upon the guitar. We're going to weigh it real quick. I'm going to see if I can redeem my circus credentials. I'm going to say this guitar, I'm going to say 6.8. We'll see. Well, this comes in at 5.8. So it's a featherweight. Which again, I like light guitars, so not a problem for me. I think that's due to their trestle design, that they have a block in the middle, but it's chopped up. Anyways, I'm going to go plug this in and give it a whirl, so we'll be back. Okay, so just for the official record, these are the two things that are missing from this guitar, which again makes me think that it's an open box or a return, because every Gretsch guitar that I've gotten comes with a warranty card and what they call an OK card. These are from my Gretsch 2420, so I just wanted to make a note that these are not in the 2655. So that's just another point of reference that I want to use. Welcome back, everybody. Again, it is still June the 13th, 2024, Thursday afternoon now, 6 o'clock in the evening. I got to play this guitar for about an hour, and I really like it. I can't say that I'm in love with the finish, but that's just superficial. I think it's funny that Gretsch has these multiple iterations of these dark bursts. This is called Brownstone, Mahogany Stain. They have a Havana burst. They have, I don't know, multiple iterations. Anyways, as mentioned earlier, according to 3 different sources, including Gretsch, this model has been discontinued. I may or not have mentioned, I don't think I did. But obviously 6 months ago there's another video. I had another G2655 that had the, I believe they're the BT S2 pickups, the humbuckers. And it was a nice guitar and it felt good, but it just didn't do anything for me. I ended up selling it. And I was just curious to see, I've got an Epiphone Casino, so I have a smaller sized ES body. The Casino's fully a hollow body with P90s. But you know, all P90s aren't the same, and I have to say these aren't the same. These sound different than the Casino, and they're really a nice sound. Yeah, I like them, and they're very quiet too. Of course, I play at low volume, so I don't know if I would actually play at a higher level. Maybe I'd hear more hum, but at the level that I play, these are actually nice and quiet. A very interesting feature about this guitar, not a big deal, but the oval fret markers, very unusual for a Gretsch. Gretsch usually either has the big block inlays or the neoclassical thumb nail. And so this is sort of an unusual feature that this particular guitar has, which is nice. I mean, it's amazing that 99% of all guitar makers, well, we shouldn't say 99%, let's say 75%, stick with round. I've never seen an oval before, and it seems like, hey, that seems like a really nice choice. I didn't point it out on my earlier video, but I did notice that in addition to the warranty card and the checklist, the Gretsch OK card being missing, that the plastic protective covering on the bridge pickup has also been removed. So I'm pretty convinced that this guitar, whatever it is, I'm convinced that it's not a brand new guitar from the factory. I don't know if it was an open box. I don't know. So I'm going to contact Adprama and just see what their thoughts are. But overall, it's a nice guitar, and as I said about the guitar that I finished reviewing earlier today, the 2420, the Gretsch import models are really good value for the money. And probably the best part about them is that the QC is very consistent. I did notice that this guitar has a few rough fret ends. No big deal. It could just be some weather acclimation. I'm going to let it acclimate before I were to do anything about it, before I run a file on it. They may just swell out a little bit. The Indian Laurel fretboard on this one, again, is nice. It's not that bacony. It's a pretty consistent dark. There's a little bit of light figurine up here that sort of gives a little bit of interest. Yeah, and who doesn't like a little bit of interest? And I'm absolutely stunned by how pushed down they have the pickup in the neck position. Until I, come to a conclusion with Adprama about whether they want to give me a bit of a discount or they want the guitar back, I can't remove the plastic covering, and therefore I can't make any adjustments to the P90, because to do so I'd either have to poke through the plastic or remove the plastic, and I don't want to do either until we've come to a meeting of the minds. But it sounds really good. A lot of people claim that a P90 pickup has to be jacked up all the way, and this actually sounds quite nice, pushed down in the body. In fact, I may end up doing nothing to it. Yeah. So again, hate to sound superficial, don't really love the finish on this. It's a little dark for my taste. What's interesting is that even though this is considered a burst, unlike the other guitars, well, I guess they do a little bit. You see, it's so subtle you can barely see it. There's a little bit of burst on the sides. The back has a little bit. Probably shows up more on the camera than it does in real life. I mean, the camera actually shows a bit of a burst. In real life, it's pretty dark. Yeah, and you can see just a hint of burst on the side and a hint of burst on the back of the neck. It goes to more of a brown. But yeah, I would say that consistently in the 4 made in Indonesia Gretsch guitars that I've gotten, to me the weak spot on these are the tuners. They work fine, but they're just, you can tell that they're just really cheap. Again, you have to cut cost. And the volume potentiometer on the 2420 is junk. It has absolutely no resistance at all. These have, a nice amount of resistance. And a lot of people don't like these radio knobs. I think they look cool. And I think they look especially cool with the really dark finish. So it makes the binding pop, the knobs pop, the surround on the pickups pops, the pickup switch pops. I like contrast. So, yeah, but for the most part, it looks like a a black guitar, but it plays really nice and it sounds really nice. And I will be back in a week or less, depending on what Adprama says. If they want to offer me a bit of a discount, I think that would be the fair and right thing to do, but I certainly don't expect it. And if they don't, I'd be willing to just send it back. As a matter of principle, if you're going to advertise something as being brand new, it should be brand new. And it should have the warranty card, and it should have the OK checklist. The other thing that's sort of goofy about this guitar is the inspection thing here says that this guitar was made in March of 2023, but the serial number says this was made in April of 2022. So I'm going to go with what the serial number in the guitar says, because that's probably more accurate, and that's fine. I mean, again, so it's obviously been sitting in a box for 2 years. These guitars are actually quite robust, and the tag on the box actually said that it was sent to Adprama from Fender/Gretsch in June of 2023. So, yeah, so it's been in Adprama's warehouse for a year. And again, they're blowing these out, and I have to say I almost feel guilty asking for a bit of a price adjustment, since they're selling these for $239. You have to go to Slick Deals and type in Gretsch, and the deal pops up. If you just go to Adprama, they're asking $499. So that's also a very interesting. Yeah, I don't understand why they do that. It seems like if they really were interested in selling these, that they would just put them on their website for the price that they're willing to sell them for. Because if you're the average guy and you bought it for $499, and I have to say, in the realm of guitars, $499 is a reasonable price for this guitar. It's exactly what they're asking for an Epiphone Casino, and I think this guitar is equal to that in quality. It's a different guitar. The Casino is a completely hollow body guitar and has the trapeze tailpiece rather than the Super V, a Gretsch exclusive. I don't know what it does or what it means. But price-wise, you know, all things being equal, there are hollow body guitars, semi-hollow body guitars out there for quite a bit less. But again, it's really hit and miss. Some are better than others. And I can safely say that Gretsch actually has a quality control department where someone actually goes over this guitar, and if there's issues, they either fix them or they reject it. Because I've had really good luck with these. And I'm repeating myself before I go, but I do think that they should put a jack plate on these guitars. I think that that's really, yeah, it's pretty precarious. So anyways, we'll be back one way or another, days, a week. But this is the Gretsch G2655 P90, now discontinued in, I think they call this Brownstone mahogany stain. Very dark. It's a dark guitar. Batman would like this guitar. Welcome back, everybody. It is Wednesday morning. It's June the 19th, 2024. And I've had this guitar now for 6 days, and I've played it every single day. And again, this is a Gretsch G2655 P90, which I believe I mentioned before is a discontinued model, according to both Gretsch and Musician's Friend and Sweetwater, because I contacted all of them, and I guess this model didn't sell very well. My feeling is they really did a really bad choice on the colors. I don't like the finish on this guitar very much, but I really like the way this guitar plays, and I love the way it sounds. The P90s are just really, really sweet. And so as you noticed in the beginning of the video, we had a little bit of a rough start because I was pretty convinced that this guitar, especially this guitar, was either a return, an open box, a B stock, something was going on. Not only because of the condition of the box, which always makes me suspicious but this was missing the Gretsch OK inspection card, and it also didn't have the warranty card. So someone obviously had been in the box, had taken the stuff out and neglected to put it back in. I contacted Adprama. They were very kind. They gave me a modest partial refund. Yeah, because I don't really care about that stuff, and since I'm planning on keeping this guitar, it's more of if I'm going to resell it that I like to have that original stuff. And this guitar, as far as I can tell, is a keeper because it really does play nice. It sounds nice, and when I'm playing it, I'm not looking at the finish. I just think they would have done a lot better if they would have done the lighter sunburst. This guitar seemed to come in, absent the Bigsby trem. Yeah, they were all dark bursts, like Havana burst and Claret burst, and this is Brownstone, and they're all almost identical to each other. So, once you overlook the superficiality of it all, yeah, this is just a really, really nice guitar. It's comfortable, has a little bit of neck dive, but I play sitting down most of the time, so that's not an issue. I don't see any reason on raising the neck pickup. It is just absolutely buried, but it sounds great. And yeah, the other thing that I noticed that I didn't mention on the video that was also a telltale is that the plastic protection on the bridge pickup was taken off. So that was another indicator that this had actually been in someone's hands. And they didn't do anything to it. It wasn't damaged or anything, but it's just more of the principle. You pay for a brand new guitar, you expect a brand new guitar. So all in all, this is yeah, a really nice guitar. I really like it. So that's all I have to say about this at the moment. We will be back soon. We have another unboxing coming up. So we're going to go ahead and download this, and then we'll be back. So join us then.